Welcome to Annette's Duets. I'm so delighted today to introduce you to professional singer-songwriter, instrumentalist, music director. How much time do you have? Arranger, composer, music educator, business owner, and friend, Hannah Rose Lewis.
Hi, hello.
Hannah, I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
I've been waiting a very long time for this, so I'm thrilled to have you here. We got to sing some songs earlier. I'm so thrilled about that. In fact, I'm going to go with that right away. Hannah, we sang a song of yours, an original, earlier, and I was hoping you could tell us the title and explain sort of how it came to you.
Sure. Okay. So the title is BGR. That's what I call it. It stands for Backward Glance Routine. And I wrote this song kind of about the experience of moving through the different eras of early adulthood. It's like you are technically an adult when you turn 18, but you don't feel like one. And then your early 20s are their own experience, and then your mid 20s are their own experience. And now I am 28, and like I feel very different from how I felt when I was 23, 24, and that's only technically a few years ago. It's just like, it's such a period of growth in a person's life. And so I often feel like I'm looking at these older versions of myself through this like cloudy window sometimes, and it's like I feel like a totally different person sometimes from the person that I was in different eras of my life, especially after things you go through in life. So yeah, that's kind of what the song is about.
Especially early in the 20s, you might be surprised how much things happen in your 20s and you don't even really realize what life-changing things they are.
Yeah,
Really.
it's like you feel the oldest you've ever been in your early 20s, because you are.
Yeah.
But then you get a little older and you're like, I was a baby. Even just a few years later, you can look back on it. It's like,
It's so
'cause
true.
your brain's developing so fast.
Well, so again, it's called Backward Glance Routine, and we got to sing it a minute ago, and so I want to share it with you now, and here it is. BGR. Right? For short. Okay, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that version as much as I loved playing with you. I told my son Troy, which is how I met Hannah, that when she sent me the original song, I thought, oh, yeah, I'm not singing that with her. Your voice is exquisite, my dear, and this is part of why I've fangirled for so long. I met you when you were in high school, and I know that you have a musical family. There's lots of artists in your family, and you started very early, but I'd love to start when I met you was high school, and you were singing in the a cappella group with my son Troy in instrumental in Calabasas High, an award-winning a cappella group. And with that group, you guys got to go to China and Carnegie Hall, and I mean, it was insane. But Hannah didn't stop there, because then you went to college at Cal State Northridge, and you were the musical director of their a cappella, Acasola, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. And then you decided to keep going professionally, right? And so the group is called
Top Shelf Vocal.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to give me a little synopsis of what a cappella means to you? I mean, I know you directed Bare Rhythm for a while.
Yes. Yeah, so my love of a cappella really started before I even got to high school. My brother, who was older than me, was in instrumental before me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so
okay, I had no idea.
I went to all the concerts, and I was like, I am obsessed with this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've always been a singer. I've always loved vocal music, and so I just loved music that was entirely singing all the time. Thought that was so cool. So then, of course, I got to do it in high school with Bare Rhythm and then instrumental, and then I music directed Acasola in college, and then while I was still in college, Mr. Barrel asked me to come back.
Shout out Mr. Barrel.
Shout out Mr. Barrel, we love him. He asked me to come back to work with Bare Rhythm as a coach.
That's amazing.
Which was really awesome to get to return to my like old home and help out.
And you got to work with Alana too, right?
Yeah, with
Shout
Alana.
out Alana.
We also love Alana. And so I did that for I think 6 years.
Wow.
So I started when I was still in college, like not even graduated yet, and then I just stopped like last year.
Wow. You're lucky to have you.
Thank you. I loved working with them. The kids there are like really something else.
Yeah. Outstanding, truly.
Yeah, it's really special. So yeah, most recently, I mean, also during that time, I was in some different pro, semi-pro.
I'm gonna ask you about
groups.
those. Wait, a cappella or
Acapella
okay?
groups.
Keep going, a cappella.
Yeah. So there was this competition called the ICCA Open, which was related to like ICCA, ICHSA, collegiate, high school acapella competitions.
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, literally.
The movie.
Yeah, and so the Open
Watch it, you'll see.
It's so good. The Open was for all ages. It wasn't like high school or collegiate, and so I was in a few different groups for that competition when I was in college. I was also still am. We're kind of slowly working on our original album right now, piece by piece. But
Nice.
I was in a group called From the Roots, which was like a professional group, totally separate from school, and just people that I met through the grapevine in the a cappella community, which is a very big, nationwide, worldwide community.
Oh yeah.
So I've done that. I've done tons of arranging for different high school and college and pro groups. And then most recently, I started music directing a group called Top Shelf Vocal, which is a community a cappella group in Los Angeles. It's been around for like 15 years or so.
Wow.
Or more. And they're really awesome. I literally just started working with them last month.
That's incredible.
Replacing their old music director Aaron Schumacher, who was in Impact, which is another iconic acapella group. I'm clearly very in this community.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, you guys, I got her. She's famous. This is it. I'm getting these people while they're famous now, but before they're like uber famous. You see, I know what I'm doing. Because you are very well on your way, my dear. This precious woman here. Okay, and so your a cappella. Also, you love singing with music as well, and so you're in a couple of choirs and you're directing that stuff too. Tonality and the LA Choral Lab, right? Can you elaborate on that stuff for me?
In Tonality and LA Choral Lab, I'm not a director. I'm merely a singing member and very grateful to be so. But yeah, Tonality is a social justice minded choir that basically all of our seasonal concerts have some kind of focus on some kind of social justice issue. So we have a concert about gun control, we have a concert about mental health, health care in general, the healthcare system, America kind of at large. and it's
America at large.
America at large. And it really runs the gamut. It's like you could hear that on its face and think, oh, it's like all doom and gloom, but a lot of it is like talking seriously about issues that affect people on a day-to-day basis, but also a lot of hope for the future and like how we can make things better for all of us and how we can grow and improve through community and talking about things, through song, of course. So yeah, Tonality is awesome. We've gone on tour to a few different places. Like we've traveled around the country a little bit, singing at universities.
So is Tonality the one that's also with the Pentatonics? No? Yes.
No. Well, I did something recently through Tonality where
Isn't there the word Grammy associated in there somewhere?
Yeah. Tonality
Let's talk Grammys.
Tonality won a Grammy last year for a project that we did with this really awesome composer named Carla Catullo on a project she did. And most recently we were nominated because we sang on a project for Scott Hoying of Pentatonics.
Okay.
So that's kind of the connection there.
So you're Grammy nominated.
Yeah, and I got to sing.
It's Grammy nominated.
Yeah, I got to be a part of that.
How does that feel?
And, I mean, awesome. Yeah, it's really awesome.
I'm not surprised, but I'm curious. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, but honestly, what was even more special for me was to get to sing with Scott.
Yeah.
Because on this recording, that's just going to be like saved forever. Because
that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, being such an acapella kid in high school, Pentatonics was like my everything.
Right. Right.
So I had so much respect for them, and they taught me so much about singing and arranging. So, and Scott is such a sweet guy. And the song that we did was really awesome. It was like an original song, but also had inspiration from Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, which, as a previous classical pianist as well, those are like my two loves, just kind of meeting. It was a really cool arrangement. So, yeah. Grammy nominated is awesome, but like the experience of singing on the song is definitely like the most special.
Yeah, that's amazing. Especially like you said, from the kid probably watching Glee, and then your brother, and all that to there you are, the pinnacle.
Yeah, it was a full circle moment.
I'm thrilled for you as the Aka mom. This is what we want. You see, this is amazing. No, I'm just thrilled that you're able to explore and achieve in that arena and reach such heights, because I knew you would. So I like being right. And then LA Choral Lab, you want to talk about that a little bit? Yeah,
LA Choral Lab is really awesome too. It's it has the word lab in the title because part of the focus of this group is experimenting with the different ways that choral music can be. So we do some like classic choral rep. I mean, we have like the Eric Whitacre pieces and things of that nature, more classical stuff once in a while, but that group's concerts also each have sort of a theme, but instead of being like social justice minded, it's more sort of like, it's kind of more related to nature. Like we had a concert that was called Birdsong that kind of explored just like, I don't know, the concepts of flying and falling, the concepts of freedom versus being entrapped, like just kind of different thematic elements that go along with elements of nature that are surrounding us all the time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So yeah, both choirs are very different but have their own sort of missions, which I think is really awesome.
Feels good, singing with purpose.
Yeah, and Choral Lab Choral Lab and Tonality, part of the awesome thing about them is just like the community that you get to be a part of, because choral singing, I feel like, is like nothing else. Singing in ensembles in general is like nothing else. Is what I experienced with acapella, where it's like you don't have that instrument in front of you, it's just your body and yourself, and singing is very emotional, so you build a lot of really like strong bonds with people.
For me, the choir singing, there's always one part in the song where the voices, I mean, the goal always, right, is to sing as one, right? Within, but when that one sweet spot goes, like you feel like it soars, and that's the part I'm always there for. Like, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
And it doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's exquisite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Singing at high levels, it's really fun because you're singing with other professionals who are like really have a mastery over their own instrument. So you can really be creative with the kinds of sounds you make.
Yeah, I'm so envious of that. That's incredible. And so a lot of this ties into, you're also a SAG-AFTRA performer, right? So you do a lot of session work and like all of that.
Yeah.
and you are swinging around in some circles. If you go look on your Insta, you're hanging out with Jennifer Hudson.
Oh my God.
You've had some really cool experiences. What's been your favorite? That's a tricky one, I'm sure, on the spot.
Yeah, that is a tricky one. I mean, not to bring up the Scott Hoying thing again, but like that was definitely one of my favorites. Singing for Jennifer Hudson was really cool. Basically, this was actually not even like a SAG thing. It was like a friend of mine from my acapella group in college.
Oh gosh,
just like,
okay.
Yeah,
amazing.
all of these groups can be, while you make great friends, you also can make great connections for life. Like,
industry,
she works for Jennifer Hudson and was like, had to put together a caroling group for Jennifer Hudson's new Christmas album.
That's amazing.
Late last year. So that was really special. Meeting her was really awesome. Cause like
that voice.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Another high for me was, I think, a couple years ago, singing with Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, come on.
This was
the goat.
For real. This was through Tonality, and she was doing this like kind of pop-up random, there's a word for it, but I'm forgetting the word, where you just like pop up and sing and nobody's expecting you.
Wow.
Kind of thing. To
like a flash mob.
Flash mob, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But like choir version.
Wow.
And she was doing it to promote some of her new songs, and so we like popped up at this random like Blue Bottle Coffee in Culver City, and we were singing this arrangement of a Kelly Clarkson song with Kelly Clarkson, and just rehearsing that beforehand. We were like in this random back room, and like in walks Kelly Clarkson to run the songs, and she just like drops into the craziest belt that you've ever heard. Like absolutely no effort. Like her voice, I've always known that she has one of the most special voices ever, but it's like seeing it in person, it's like humbling.
One of my favorite things, I remember the American Idol days, and somebody said to her, "Are you nervous?" And she was like, "No." She was like, "What? Like why? Like I've got this." And I just remember that sat with me like, wow, because she could sing the phone book, and she's just crazy good.
It's truly special voice.
But I've always felt this about your voice too, so I'll go back and ooze some more about that in a minute. But talking about you being a music director and composing and arranging and all that, you also own your own music company, right? Can you talk about Valley Music Project? Is that
Valley Music Workshop?
So, okay.
So it really started with my brother, who most of my siblings and / family members are in music in some way, but I have one brother that's a visual artist, and he started an art school through our family home called Valley Art Workshop. And so we purchased the home next door kind of as a family to try to expand our like musical compound. Yeah, because my family is we're all musicians and artists. We have art all over the walls, and we have always had like house concerts, and we've always been kind of like teaching lessons through the house, but we wanted to expand it. And so in the house next door, I started Valley Music Workshop to mirror my brother's art school, create like a musical kind of sister school.
Oh, I love
the art school. So I have been teaching music since I was 18. Private lessons in groups, classroom, like all different things. But this is private lesson specific mostly. So I have my studio there where I have all of my piano and voice students. I have some teachers as well, teaching other instruments. On our property, and we also have a recording studio on site.
Love. And
we host events. My favorite event that we do is our Redwood Sessions, which are like small, intimate singer-songwriter nights. We usually have like 3 performers. Everybody gets a good long set. And it's in our great room, so it's like super cozy, and it's really cool to get to give people a platform and a place to play, and just get together and have community and music. So those are kind of like the three prongs of Valley Music Workshop.
Yeah,
lessons,
I think that's incredible.
Recording and events.
That's incredible, and I think kudos to you, because I feel like creating community is essential. And when you have this gift, do you feel, because I feel like you have a little bit of a duty to do what you're doing, and is sharing it with the others and helping others uplift, and I feel like you've done such a beautiful job. Do you feel a duty to that?
Kind of. I mean, I definitely feel a duty to music.
Yeah.
And I guess that sort of verbiage can make it feel like it's a chore. Not at all.
Yeah.
It's like I have always felt like music is what I'm supposed to do.
So it's not a duty, it's your personality.
Yeah.
Is the giving person that you are. And so, and you're giving through music and you're sharing your gift. And my mom said to me once, like, you need to be sharing your music with the world or whatever. And I would say the same exact thing to you. And I just think it's incredible. And talking about that, we did one of your originals earlier. Can you talk to me more about your original music and what's happening with it?
Yeah, I have had so much focus on my business and also being like a hired gun singer that like I want to give more time to my original music. I think I deserve it.
Yeah.
To
please
express more. I think it's really important, and it's also just a great way to kind of like I don't know, remember certain emotions that you felt, or remember certain parts of your life from a real like first person perspective, kind of like what I was talking about in the song, where it's like the past versions of yourself, you can grow so much and go through so much that you feel kind of removed from it. I want to be able to relate to myself in kind of all areas of my life. I guess I really come at it from a perspective of like, it's for me. Yeah. And I love sharing it.
That's really interesting. I like that.
Yeah. It's like
a musical diary.
Right. Yeah. Not in a selfish way, but just like it's a way for me to express and a way for me to like really, it's almost therapeutic. I mean, it is pretty therapeutic to write songs, especially when they're like about something really personal. It's like a way to work through things and understand yourself better. Right. And so I think I really want to make more of a habit of it, because for me it's often, I'm usually the kind of songwriter that's like, I won't write a song for months and then I write a song in like an hour.
Yeah, right. It just spits out.
It just kind of like comes out, and then I don't look at it for like another month
and see how it feels.
Yeah, right. Which I think is pretty organic. But I don't think it would be so terrible to introduce a little bit of routine into it, at least like a little bit, so I can maybe write more than like 3 songs a year.
Yeah. You have a few things out on Spotify, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have a song out on Spotify. I have some songs out on Bandcamp as well, because my song on Spotify, it's called TWT. I guess I like the acronyms. That one has a totally different sound. It's more like kind of quirky bubblegum pop sort of thing, which I also love that kind of music, but it's very much not like acoustic singer-songwriter. But some of my more like, I don't think this song was on it, but some songs that are more in the vein of what I played today are on my Bandcamp at
I'll be sure to get all that up there.
So I've got stuff around.
So I know that your family was a massive influence, but can you talk to me about a few of your influences? I know we have one in common. We'll get to her, but are there others that you really looked to towards inspiration?
Well, when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of Joni Mitchell, which of course
we're gonna talk about Joni.
But I mean, it's hard not to bring up first, because she's like my number one. She's my girl. I recently saw her at the Hollywood Bowl, and it just.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. So you got to see her before I did.
Yeah.
And I'm not a crier, and I was crying.
Same.
Oh my gosh, it was such a magical. I saw on a different night. But I saw her with Brandy Carlisle. When did you see her? You saw her.
It was Joni and Friends at the Bowl, so of course Brandy Carlisle was there, because Brandy Carlisle is just like by her side all the time now, which I think is so cool.
So cool.
But she started playing Hajira, and the tears just started flowing. Like I don't know what it was like. It just touched a deep place, I think, because like so many of those songs I've loved since I was really young. Same thing with like Crosby, Stills and Nash. I was listening to them a ton. I think that's really where I started my love for vocal harmony.
I was gonna say your ear for it,
I love like more classic versions of a cappella, like Singers Unlimited. I discovered when I was young. That's like a group of like I think 4 session singers from the 60s, and they basically have these albums where it's the 4 of them just like multi-tracked, like really thick harmonies, really cool jazzy arrangements of classics.
And that's where your ear got going, so you were able to do arrangements. And I think half the battle in a cappella is the arranger, right? The arrangement. I mean,
you gotta start with a good arrangement.
if you don't have a good arrangement, it's gonna be a problem. I only know that from listening to a lot of college and high school a cappella. I would be like, oh boy, they didn't have an arranger.
You can tell.
I want to be supportive, but you can tell. You can tell when there's been a good arranger behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joni, you did your senior solo. I think you sang A Case of You. Yeah, I remember because it was stunning.
Oh,
so stunning. So in that vein, I asked Hannah to bring her mandolin. And we did a little version of Big Yellow Taxi that I just loved getting to play with you. So we did Big Yellow Taxi. Here it is. I hope you enjoy. Did you love it? Because I did. So there it was, Big Yellow Taxi. Okay, and so Joni Mitchell, anything more you want to add on Joni? Just...
I mean, yeah, it's just my parents were playing Joni Mitchell in our house, like, basically from when I was really little. My mom is a classical musician, so really it was, like, classical music or, like, the Laurel Canyon.
Yeah,
like,
so cool.
Folk rock singer-songwriter people from the 60s, 70s. Like, those were kind of the two
so
genres
cool.
that we had in our
I
house.
love that, though.
Yeah.
What a great fundamental basics, like,
Yeah, my mom was always of the mind that's like, she's a classical musician, so she has really high standards for music, so she knows something really good when she hears it, usually.
Yeah.
So it's like, while she is more classical minded, there are certain standouts in some genres that are totally different, that she's like, okay, I can recognize that that's like amazing music. So Joni Mitchell's definitely one of those. I really fell in love with her album Blue. That was one of the first albums that I kind of explored playing and singing. I would teach myself some of the songs off that. And Hejira, of course. Hissing of Summer Lawns. Court and Spark is probably it's hard to say my favorite.
Yeah, well, you don't have to love them all. There's room in the heart for all of them.
Exactly.
All right, and so changing topics completely, I must congratulate you because you're recently engaged.
Thank you.
And to Brandon, who also was on Annette's Duets. Just you want to look that up, see what's going on there. And Anyway, congratulations. I'm very excited for you both on that. That's a wonderful union about to happen. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
And, okay, is there anything I've missed?
I don't think so. You really covered all the bases.
So will you come back when you've put out some of your recordings and then we can do more? Okay, I love that. So something to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Rose Lewis, I'm so delighted this finally happened, and thank you for being here.
Of course.
And we'll see you next time. Yeah.